Literally everything in this tank is getting completely taken down. We need to rinse some of that sand. Now I also have this piece of driftwood. Right, guys, I'm shook. All right, so you should be just as shook. My rescue fish's new dream home. Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. So today's video, if you guys watch my channel or if you watch some of my recent videos towards the end, I talked about my paradise fish, Albert. So Albert I actually rescued from, or saved, however you want to say it, from a local fish store of mine that had him in this little tiny bowl. And you guys can go check out the video if you want. I'll put a picture up here and it's just on my channel. And just to clarify, I got a lot of comments from local people who actually somehow knew what the store was, even though I never said what the store was, never showed the guy's face, nothing. But a lot of people had some concerns saying that the fish owner knows a lot and that his store is just messy, which I know that. I wasn't coming for the store. It was more just this fish was going to die if I left it there, and it was going to die if it was sold to someone else. So it wasn't a dried up fish bowl. There was no water in it, and unfortunately, no one knows everything, so it's just kind of where we're at. But I've been talking about redoing his tank because let me just show you guys why I want to redo his tank. Now, first off, I know the water level is low. I'm not going to go into explaining why it's low because I've already explained it a few times, but when I redo his tank, it's going to be filled all the way up to the top. Literally everything in this tank is getting completely taken down and it's completely starting back over. So I'm going to keep most of this water so he is already used to it, although I will still acclimate him. Now, the other reason I want to give this guy a new home is because this guy has so much personality. Most of the time, now he's being a little camera shy, but as you can see, he'll follow my finger around and he's really, really great. So he definitely has a lot of personality. When I come into the room, he always goes right over to the glass, and it's pretty crazy how he already knows it's me. So he definitely deserves a really nice tank, and this obviously is not going to do it for him. This is aquarium gravel from the store, fake plants. He deserves the best of the best, so that is what I'm going to give him. Everything in this tank, including the filter, is getting completely taken out. We're putting in a sponge filter, we're putting in live plants, some driftwood, some sand, literally just completely redone. And I know this guy's gonna love it. He's gonna do really, really well in it. How I would describe him is basically a small flower horn. If you guys already know, flower horns have a lot of personality, and he's basically a small flower horn. So that's really cool. So let me go ahead and show you guys everything that we're going to put into this tank, and then we're gonna start we gotta take him out, put him into something, and take everything out of the aquarium and give Albert, our rescue fish, his dream home. So let's get into this. The first thing he's gonna need is a sponge filter. So right now he has this Aqueon filter right here, just a hang on the back filter. That's also another reason why the water is low, because as you can see, it hangs down a couple inches. So I wouldn't be able to fill up the water all the way anyway. Here's just an example of one of them. I have two of them going right now, one in each of these 5 gallons, but this is for my betta tank right here, Lila. Wherever oh, there she is. Lila right there. That is my baby betta who I'm growing to be an adult. But this is her sponge filter. That's another sponge filter I just set up yesterday. So it is going to be the same thing, but I'm gonna put it in the back and I'm gonna hide it with plants. So I'm planning for this to be my best scaped tank because, for one, I haven't completed my other tanks, but this one, when I complete it today, is pretty much gonna be completely done. I'm not really gonna add too much to it after I do this. Now I also have this piece of driftwood right here, which is gonna sit really, really nicely in this tank. This 5 gallon right here no longer has any fish in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this micro sword right here, which is doing really, really well now. It did grow some sort of fungus or whatever when I first put it in, but all plants need time to adjust to the aquarium. But I'm also going to take that Anubias and this Anubias back here. Those plants will be going into the tank as well. And then I might take some Java moss from my big tank or something like that and put it around the driftwood. But the aquascape of this thing is going to be crazy. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Alright, so the first thing to do is I'm actually going to take a couple pictures of this tank beforehand so we can do it before and after. But then I'm going to go ahead, we're going to take out most of this water, put it into this bucket that I just rinsed out, and Albert himself. So let's go ahead and start the time lapse. Alright, so now the filter is running right here into that water, and this bucket right here is Albert's water. I'm gonna go ahead and take Albert out now, put him in there, and I'm also gonna take one of the plants and put it in there for him so he doesn't feel too stressed, hopefully. So let's go ahead and take Albert out and put him in there. All right, now he's in the bucket right down there in the same exact water. This way here doesn't stress him out too much with the water parameters. Then I'm just gonna go ahead, take out the rest of this water, put like half of this into the bucket. The other half we're just gonna get rid of. Alright, so now I have most of the water drained, and now we just gotta start taking out all the gravel. The gravel is actually going to be sand. And for sand, I use paved stone clay sand, and this is actually from Home Depot. It's all natural. I know about whole sand and aquarium sand and all of that, but this is the cheapest and this is what I have right now, so this is what I want to use up. And then in the future, I'll probably, change it up, get something different. So let's go ahead and take out all this gravel and rinse the sand and get it in there. So now I'm also going to get rid of this heater. It's an under gravel heater, which isn't good for fish. And this thing is bent. I don't even know what happened to it, but we're just gonna throw this out because Albert does not need this. It's not even good for him. And it was a rookie mistake buying that, honestly. So that's gonna go right in the trash as well. There isn't a heater in here. I'm not going to put a heater in here because the room stays at the same temperature. Alright, so I took out all the gravel. For the most part, that can just stay in there because, there might be some beneficial bacteria on it. Plus, I'm not gonna sit there and scrub out every little tiny piece. It's mostly a lot of small pieces. So the next step, we need to rinse some of that sand and get it into there for the substrate. Alright, so I have 5 cups of sand right here. I'm gonna go ahead and start rinsing these out. Probably need like 3 more cups after this, and then we'll have our substrate for Albert's new tank. Alright, so we can now move this, obviously, because we don't need that anymore. And I've rinsed out these 4 cups of sand, so we can go ahead and pour these in. Just like so, and it's gonna make like a splash, because it's all gonna fall at once. Yep. So we may need a few more cups than I thought, but that's okay. Alright, and just like that, we have 5 more cups of sand, so now we gotta pour these in. It is really hot, but I'm excited to finally be getting this tank redone. I've been looking at it forever. It's like an eyesore in the fish room to me. So the sand obviously is a little difficult to be rinsing in cups, but what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're going to cure this driftwood. So I'm gonna go in the bathroom now. Hottest water I can get, right above boiling. I'm gonna bring in a thermometer, and basically after that we can go ahead and put this right into the tank, and then I'm gonna go ahead and siphon out the dirty water, make it nice and clean, and we can get plants in there and finish this thing up. So next thing to do is to cure this driftwood. So it's like 2 days later, but I quickly just wanted to interrupt and just say that I'm curing the wood in the shower because it doesn't fit in a 5-gallon bucket. I didn't have anything bigger the last few weeks to put it in. So I've also read that you can pour boiling water over it. So I was like, okay, well the shower, the bathtub, that gets up to 120 degrees. So I'll get it to 100 and then I'll just use that water and it'll be the same thing as boiling water because it's the same temperature. So that should work. So I know you're supposed to let it sit for a week or 2, but like I said, I didn't have any container that would fit it. So that is why I did what I did. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and set this down right here. And like I said, we're gonna get really hot water on and try and cure this as much as possible, but I'm not really worried about, brown water getting in there and tannins and stuff. Alright, so I think I found the place for it, so now I'm just going to go ahead, fill this up, and keep siphoning it out until the water is pretty much crystal clear. Then we can go ahead and put the plants in there. Now all I have to do is get the plants from this 5-gallon over here, so let's go ahead and grab these and bring them over. Alright, so we want this Anubias right here. So I'm just going to drop these in for the moment. I don't know exactly where I want them. Then we're going to grab this Anubias back here and sit off a little bit. Got this Anubias, really, really long roots right there. Then we also have this micro sword, which I have never had before, but it is a good plant. So we're just gonna pick this up and then drop this in. I am going to take it out of that little pot though. I'm gonna plant it properly. But that's the plants that we're starting with. This thing looks absolutely amazing already and I'm so excited. But the next thing I'm gonna do is get the sponge filter. Oh, forgot to take that off. I'm gonna go ahead and get the sponge filter and we can set that up once I get a little bit more water in here. This way here we can kind of clean it a little bit more so that we can really see it when it's done. All right, so all we need for the sponge filter setup is the actual sponge filter, this air pump right back there, and this tubing. All right, so we just go ahead and attach the little tube to the sponge filter. Then you just take it and place it where you would like it, which is going to be this back corner. Move it a little bit, and now I just need to cut the cord to fit, and the other end will go right into the air pump. Oh my god, I'm so excited to show you guys this. So I pretty much finished everything. I am going to go to another store. So I will see you guys in a few days because I want to let this thing really like clear up all the way. And I want to pick up a few more plants, I think. Maybe another piece of driftwood or something. But this thing looks absolutely insane. It is definitely my favorite tank and definitely my best scape tank as well. So I'm out of breath. I'm sweating. It's hot. I've been working really, really hard and fast. So I will see you guys in a few days to show you guys the finished product of this tank. Alright guys, so it is the next day. I went to Petco and I picked out 2 more plants. Now even after buying these, I think I'm still gonna need some more stuff. So when I finish this video today and a little bit after I put these plants in and show you guys and everything, after this video, I think, over the next couple days, I'll get some more plants and some different things and you guys can stay updated in my future videos on like the complete finished look of this tank. And like I said, I was gonna get more stuff. I was gonna get like moss balls and stuff, but none of them looked good. Let me go ahead and rinse out these plants because 2 plants are kept in this like little gel stuff and we gotta rinse all that off. Alright guys, so it is like 2 days later and this tank is done for right now. I don't plan on adding anything else for the moment. I mean, obviously I will add more stuff in the future when I have a little bit more money and get more plants and that type of stuff. Let me go ahead and let's go ahead and roll the B-roll for this amazing tank because like guys, I'm shook. All right, so you should be just as shook. Like, let's go ahead and roll the before footage and the after footage as well because like why not? All right, let's go. Okay guys, so like, oh my god, but I just want to go ahead and do a quick rundown of this tank because there are a few things I need to mention. So number 1, this rock is not actually going to stay in here. At least I don't think. I'm gonna get some rock for this aquarium, but it's not gonna be this one because I do plan to put that in my betta tank. So this rock should be leaving the tank. It's just holding down the driftwood just a little bit. It may actually be all set to go now, but I did have to put it in there just to hold it down. It wasn't floating too much, just a little bit. Right here is the micro sword. I was able to break it in half, so there's half of it right there. And this was in the sand, but he kind of pulled it up, I guess. And then there is some more back there, some micro sword right there. And then all of these other plants are actually Anubias. I also put Java moss around this branch right here, and it actually stayed by itself, so that will grow in really nicely, and that'll kind of fill all of this up. So that's just a little bit about the tank, and eventually I will get more plants like in the background and stuff, like to really fill in all of this tank. Comment down below what you guys think of this tank, because I think it looks absolutely amazing, and I'm really impressed with myself, honestly, pretty proud of myself. And obviously, like I said, this stuff will grow in more, and I will be adding more plants. So comment down below what you think of this tank. I'm really glad that I was able to rescue him in the first place. And obviously paradise fish are similar to betta fish, but even betta fish you're not supposed to keep in a bowl. You know, they need a heater and a filter, or at least the right temperature of water. Like if your room's the right temperature, they need all that stuff, and they definitely need good water parameters, not sitting in dirty water like this guy had this fish. So like I said, I wasn't trying to come at the store or him. I was just saying that this fish in particular just wasn't in a good situation and he needed to be saved, so that's what I did. So I've had him for a little over a month now, and he's doing absolutely fantastic. He hasn't shown any signs of diseases or parasites, which is absolutely amazing. And eventually I will get a friend for him. So if you want me to get a friend for him, comment down below some ideas. Paradise fish are aggressive just like betta fish, and he is a male, so probably thinking just like a snail or something. But comment down below what you think I should try to get him for a friend. And obviously I'll have to quarantine the friend and all that type of stuff, but it would be nice to have something else in the tank as well. So this right here is Albert's tank, and I guess Albert and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.